What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to WP Workshop. What I want to check out today is the new WordPress 7.1. The release is just around the corner, so I just wanted to see what we can expect, some of the new interesting features, and what sort of impression we can get of where WordPress is heading. So yeah, let's check it out. So I do have WordPress 7.1 installed on this test setup. It's a local website. I don't have much of anything else enabled at this stage, so we can get the pure WordPress experience. And right out the gate, let's check out what I think is the main advertised feature for this new release, which is responsive styles for blogs. So let's go into posts. Let's pick any of my posts. And if you go into this section, you can for once switch freely through the sections, through the different screen sizes, but apart from that you can also enable responsive styles. And this means that if you're gonna change any of the styles right now, they are gonna apply only to the selected viewport. So in my case, this is gonna be desktop. If I want to change anything only about mobile display, for example, then I can switch to mobile, do my changes, and they're only gonna apply to this specific view. So overall, I think this is pretty great. And if you also enable the option to show template, then you're gonna see what the page is actually gonna look like after you do those changes. So overall, a very interesting new addition just to make WordPress a bit more compatible with more types of screens. However, this seems like the kind of setting that should be here a couple of years ago. Still, better to see it now than never. So big props, a great direction overall. Next, let's check out the tabs block. I think it's a really interesting block. So tabs, I can enable it just like that. Maybe let's put this in here. Let's put this as the next tab. Let's create one more. Yeah, and with that, I can start moving my content maybe to the tab sections themselves. So yeah, let's see, let's move it all in here. Let's make it maybe white. Yeah, and let's preview. Let's see what it looks like. And yeah, we have those tabs in here. Granted, the design is pretty basic. However, I am running the default 2025 theme, so it is by design a bit minimal, if not to say seriously minimal. Okay, next, a feature that I'm kind of excited about is the new mechanism for cropping images. So let's click on the crop option and you're gonna see a totally new interface in here. So for example, it's a lot more responsive. If I resize the viewport, the whole image is gonna center on that new area that I'm cropping. So it's pretty nice. I can also rotate the image slightly if I want to, so a totally new interface, very useful I think. I can just save it and the image is gonna reframe, it's gonna apply the crop, and overall it's pretty easy to use, and we've been lacking a feature like that in WordPress for years now. Then I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but the admin bar is visible all the time on all the pages. So not just in the dashboard, like in the main dashboard view, but also on all the pages, and specifically when you are working on your content. And that also includes when editing your site, when entering the site editor. So overall, it's making the WordPress interface much less confusing, I think. And one more feature that I'm enjoying quite a lot is the ability to set interactive styles. So for example, let's add a button to this page. So I have my button in here, and if I click on that icon, I can switch between the common states of a button. So I can, for example, change the setting on hover. Maybe let's change the background just that we can see the impact of that. So if I save this page and see it in here, yeah, so it works, it's changing the color. Again, a very basic setting, but at the same time, very needed, I think. And the final feature I want to show you is the ability to add inline notes. So basically, just select something and click on add note. And yeah, we can comment on that. If I had more users on this site, I could also tag them using just the standard mention mechanism. And then you will be able to see those notes here highlighted in the actual post content. And if you want to see all notes, then just switch to this additional panel here on the side. So overall, I think this is a quality release. There are some features in here that have been needed in WordPress for years now, and I'm happy that they are finally here. At the same time, we haven't seen any AI features. This time, but I don't know if that's actually good or not, because on one hand, like, everybody's been releasing new AI stuff all the time, but on the other, you know, we are kind of a bit tired of seeing those half-baked AI features being added everywhere to all the software. So maybe this is a good refreshment just to see a software being iterated on, just adding basic core needed yet simple features. So yeah, overall a big plus. Check it out, download WordPress 7.1, update your sites to use it when it is actually available, of course. And yeah, do let me know what you think of this new release. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm Karol, you can find me at wpwork.shop, and see you next time.